Good morning, Albuquerque. It is Wednesday, August 16th. I'm Fred Slow alongside me, Van Nunley. Van,
okay.
The Atlanta Falcons have decided to put a Chick-fil-A in their new football stadium. The irony? Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays.
That is so dumb. Hey, Fred, why'd the chicken cross the road?
I don't know, Van.
To get his nuggets to Mercedes-Benz Stadium because it is super safe over there now.
Welcome to The Claim on ProView Sports Channel 26. The Claim, Albuquerque, New Mexico's newest sports program, starring Fred Slow and Van Nunley. Hang on. In the next 30 minutes, you'll get caught up on what's important, what's happening, and what you should know in the world of sports. Stay tuned. It's time for The Claim.
Van, here we are in episode 3 of The Claim, and I'm excited to be here with you. And if we would have started last week, we would have led with this story, but we thought it was so important we would bring it up post 1 week. One week, sir. The Miami Dolphins suffered 2 Fridays ago a debilitating injury to their starting quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, who blew the knee on a sideline. The argument has been, obviously, that he should have maybe had reconstructive surgery during the offseason. He did not. Yeah. With that said, the move had to be made for the Dolphins, and the Dolphins brought in one Jay Cutler. Obviously, the headlines were then made that the Dolphins did not select one Colin Kaepernick. What I want to do, Van, is break down why the Dolphins would bring in Jay Cutler and then juxtaposition that against why Colin Kaepernick just simply cannot find a job.
Right, let's rewind that a little bit to a point you made about Ryan Tannehill's injury.
Yes.
In the first place. All signs pointed to him actually needing surgery, but they pumped the brakes, they waited for it, they let him heal naturally, and the first week of practice, he blew it, gonna need surgery, and he's out. So, I mean, with advances in health, sports science these days, it's always better just get the surgery, get it out of the way, and get back on the field faster.
Right. There's this mindset that, and I'm going to go jump over to Major League Baseball real quick, where you want your pitcher to have already had Tommy John. Like, you like the idea of getting a guy whose elbow is going to go all day.
Yeah, I mean, they're drafting 18-year-old kids and immediately giving them Tommy John surgery and getting them back on the field a year later.
Right out the gate.
Yeah.
You know, at 18, 19, 20, you're not going to necessarily, Bryce Harper obviously is not that, but you're not going to get out on the field with any immediacy. So and Tommy John is not the 1.5, 2 years it used to be.
Right.
It's at the most a year, and for a lot of guys less.
Yeah,
it's
some
8
guys are doing
months.
9-10 months, yeah.
So, and it's the same kind of concept here in the NFL where there's so much money involved and so many people relying on you. And we talk about quarterbacks all the time. There's 32 teams. There's not 32 quarterbacks.
Right.
And if you have Ryan Tannehill, your team is legitimately leveraging, like, every person involved, like their money and their worth and their families, all rely on one Ryan Tannehill, Miami Dolphins,
right.
and he goes down, and they literally have to pull a guy out of the broadcast booth.
Right. You know, Ryan Tannehill, he's going to be, he's not an elite guy.
No.
He might be like cusp of the top 10 guy, but he's going to be a starting NFL quarterback, except for your Rodgers, your Bradys, your Brees. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody in the league is going to want to take a guy like Tannehill.
Well, there's this mindset, and I did AM Sports Talk Radio for a long time, and I used to do a segment regularly with Amy Trask. And Amy Trask was the first female GM in the history of the NFL, and she was the GM for the Oakland Raiders. So I would have Amy on the program, in a regular reoccurring conversation we would have, Van, is how important is it to have a top 15 quarterback? Because that's the mindset here. You cannot bank on having a top 5 guy. You're fortunate if you have a top 10 guy. But if you even want to be in the mix, It has to be a top 15 guy. Is Ryan Tannehill a top 15 guy?
I think he is. I think he's right outside the top 10. He's always stats. His peripherals are always like a dozen-ish. Mm-hmm. And you know who else is?
A parallel to him, I think, is Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. I think for the Miami Dolphins, for his ex offensive coordinator Adam Gase, which is a big sell on signing him.
1 year as the offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears, and in that one season, over 5,000 yards of total offense for the Chicago Bears.
Best season of Jay Cutler's career.
Right, and then like we said, made the transition to the Miami Dolphins this year.
Correct.
After whoever was on Hard Knocks got fired already.
Right.
Not in the mix. No, let me rephrase that.
Well, I think for Jay Cutler, you got a perfect replacement for Ryan Tannehill. You know, Jay Cutler's not he's not your savior of your franchise. He's not your hero. He's not going to sell a lot of tickets. You're not bringing Brett Favre out of retirement. But Jay Cutler's a guy that you're going to slide in there, and he's going to be replacement level. He's going to be pretty comparable to Tannehill, and it was a decent pickup for the Dolphins.
Well, I agree with that, but Jay Cutler, who's a guy I'm a fan of, if we're going to be honest. I think he does it really well in his personal life. I think he does it very well on the field. I liked him coming out of college. He's smoking Joe Cutler. Like,
yeah, I think Jay Cutler's entertaining by not being entertaining.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
he's like the epitome of indifference.
He's the epitome of indifference.
Yeah.
I feel like when you call Jay Cutler and you're like, hey, I'm going to give you $10 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but he's actually the third lowest paid starting quarterback of NFL starting quarterbacks. We're going to give you $10 million, my friend, if we can convince you to come play. And he says, let me think about it.
Yeah. Meh, I don't like $10 million. I don't like my profession that I've dedicated my whole life to. Meh.
Right.
Jay Cutler's basically like a sentient wax figurine of himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not following that.
He's like a wax statue came to life. He's like emotionless, indifferent, doesn't care. $10 million, meh. Gets to play the sport that he apparently loves. Meh. My wife made me do it. Meh.
I have the hottest wife on the planet. Meh. Meh. I have all the millions. I can get a TV job right now. And that's the part there. The TV job with Fox was allegedly at or near $400,000. And the contract with the Miami Dolphins is 10 guaranteed plus a chance for 13 if he really shows it off. It's good work if you can get it. And Jay Cutler seems like a guy who just gets these opportunities. Let me start over. He's got skill. He's got talent. I'm not saying he's entitled.
Big arm.
Yeah. But they keep falling to him, don't they? Yeah. Like he's a lucky enough dude to get these things. And the opposite of that, a guy who wants to play more than anyone else, maybe on the planet, allegedly, according to him. Yeah. A guy that has the skill set that is better than guys that are currently doing it. A guy that has won, not just for his team, but nationally and on the big spotlight is Colin Kaepernick. Yep. And he didn't get a whiff. Tim Tebow got a stronger whiff. Allegedly, Peyton Manning got a phone call.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Brett Favre probably got a phone call, too.
Yeah, Brett Favre probably called them. Colin Kaepernick is not – he's not going to get an opportunity this year, true or false?
I really don't think he is. It seems like the league is blackballing him. He's a hyper-talented guy. He's like the kind of X factor that can get you to the next level. You know, like we said, Jay Cutler's a perfectly good replacement for a Ryan Tannehill, but I think Kaepernick has like the talent and the skill set that could possibly get you to the next level. But circus is coming to town.
It absolutely is, and the circus also, if we're talking about unwanted attention, would have came to town with Tim Tebow, but it's for the exact opposite reasons.
Sure. They both took a knee.
Yeah, they both
took a knee,
and that's
just for way different reasons.
That's the point I'm trying to make. The NFL teams, for whatever reason, do not have a problem bringing in guys with cloudy past and shit. We talked about it on Monday.
Talked about it, yeah.
With Ezekiel Elliott. They will bring in dudes that have done things that are not exactly lawful, and they'll give them opportunities. And Colin Kaepernick is so much within the realm of lawful.
Yeah.
Like, he's the epitome
for sure
of what you can do in America with your freedoms, and a little bit condemned that way.
Right.
And it's nuts to me to think, we don't want a guy that his worst problem is that he speaks his mind and he feels like consciously he's part of a movement. I don't know how that's a negative. And maybe you don't like the message, and that's fine, but I'm telling you the mindset is okay in my book.
Sure. I think, he's offending certain populations, and I don't think they should be offended, but, just him, just his stats. He isn't outside of the best 50 quarterbacks in the league. Mm-hmm. At the very least, he should get a backup job. And him not having a backup job is ridiculous.
Gosh, I feel like at the very least he should be a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of teams that just don't have it, and I'm thinking of teams, the Denver Broncos are going to come to mind. And over here in Albuquerque, and the Broncos have a large fan base.
Big Bronco town.
Yeah, and the Broncos, and we'll use John Elway as an example, a guy who ran around like Colin Kaepernick and kind of played an offense like Colin Kaepernick and is not afraid to set up that West Coast / turn and hand off kind of thing. And he's a guy who would fit, but they're going to put their eggs in the basket of Trevor Siemian, who is not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
No,
There's no
he's
other way
not.
to say it. And
I mean, we could rattle off a few teams that he would be a good fit on immediately.
the LA Rams.
LA Rams, he's better than Goff. Jets, he's better than...
He could be a better wide receiver than anyone that's... Hey, by the way, R.I.P. Lucky Whitehead broke his foot yesterday in camp.
Poor guy.
Had his dog stolen, falsely accused of shoplifting, signs with the worst team in the league, breaks his foot.
Breaks his friggin' foot.
That's
When it rains, it pours.
He's not...
Did he get a guaranteed contract?
Who in the NFL gets a guaranteed contract?
Like at least like 30, 40 bucks?
No,
Like, does he get like Medicaid?
bet on yourself is something I always tell people when like pursuing their dreams and stuff. Not if your name's Lucky.
Not if your name's Lucky,
Not-
Unlucky Whitehead. So unfair.
Here's a surefire bet you're going to find every fall, Van. When we come back, HBO's Hard Knocks has made a triumphant return to television, and it, in my opinion, is the second best thing you can see on TV, and we will tell you why here on The Claim.
What do these interns even do on their break, man?
I don't even know. It's probably way too crazy.
Football's back right here on ProView Sports Network. All the best rivalries, all the best action, every game on ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26, and the game of the week on My50 TV.
You know, we try to let all of our interns do everything here at ProView Sports Network. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out. Hey everybody, welcome to the ProView Rundown. I'm Adam Deal. What a big week in football, week 3. As you all know,
Cut!
come on, this Eagle, jeez.
Football's back right here on ProView Sports Network. All the best rivalries, all the best action, every game on ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26, and the game of the week on My50 TV.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Yeah, so anyways, Van, that's why I can't read the newspaper on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Welcome back to The Claim. Last night, Van, the second episode of HBO's Hard Knocks aired. We are actually, though, going to go back to the first episode. HBO Hard Knocks is Emmy and critically and perennially acclaimed as the best in-depth sports documentary / reality series you can see. And although I feel like there's probably not a lot of those.
No.
Amazon's doing one, though.
What's Amazon got?
I don't remember the name of it, but they followed the LA Rams around all last season. Super good.
Oh, okay.
Showtime did one on baseball for 2 seasons, but it fell through. Not important to this stuff. HBO Hard Knocks is following and I don't even know, documenting, cataloging, archiving, any verb you want to use, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Exciting, fun team.
Right? Young,
And I am
energetic.
so mad at myself. I've never watched Hard Knocks before.
I talked you into it.
I was immediately hooked. It is so friggin' good. Yeah.
We've been working on The Claim now for a couple weeks, and obviously been there for one. And I said, Van, it's very much important that we hit cultural phenomenons in sports, and Hard Knocks is that. Hard Knocks
Absolutely.
is water cooler stuff. But we are going to be so kind to the viewer. We're going to give them a 1 week bumper, and that's what we did.
Fair.
So here we are in episode 1. It's incredible to me how HBO, obviously also through the guys of the Sable family who ran NFL Films, you can just see so many parallels from the way NFL Films to Hard Knocks if you're into that kind of life. So HBO shows up to the childhood home of Jameis Winston to start episode 1 of Hard Knocks. Did you see this?
Of course I saw it. and it hooked me immediately. It was so amazing. Jameis Winston, you know, for all his troubles he had at Florida State, the crab cake stealing incident or something like that. What
crab
was that?
legs.
Crab legs. Stole crab legs.
At the at Florida State University. Went into like a local IGA. You don't have IGAs here. Well, a local grocery.
We'll call it Smith's here.
Sure.
Yeah.
And took on his own accord.
Or Albertsons, whoever wants to sponsor us.
Right. And snatched up a pocket full of crab legs.
I think it was a crotch full.
It was a crotch full. And he walks out. And there are other examples of this. There was some alleged. There were some alleged incidents.
Jumped up on a table and pulled his stuff out in front of some ladies. Is that accurate?
No, that is not accurate.
That's not accurate.
So
I like that story better.
There was a union building on campus.
Okay.
Where he did jump up on the table.
I'm glad you're here to clarify.
There was a popular catchphrase at the time that was trending on the internet, and he, in the most boisterous, loud way, screamed that popular catchphrase that I'm not going to utter across all of this union building. It was like a mall kind of thing. Anyways, and if you are the Heisman-winning captain of your national champion,
can't do that. Best quarterback in the country,
baseball player on the whole planet at the
shutdown closer.
You cannot do those kind of things.
No, you can't.
And
I still like my version of the story better. It's kind of incendiary, but it's more fun.
Fake news. So what you cannot do.
Anyways, Jameis Winston's humble beginnings. Let's go back to the actual hard knocks.
Jameis Winston grew up in Anytown, America, in Grandma's house, and Grandma is very much interpretive to these communities where it takes a village, and there's not necessarily the biggest parental influences.
It's Abuelita here in Albuquerque. Yes.
So today I learned.
Yep.
And so he's literally hanging out on the porch with 20 family members at his grandma's house.
Could be more.
Could have been more.
Yeah.
Talking about how they would shack up 11 or 10 or 12 to a room.
Yeah. And there were eight people, I think he said, in the room.
Is that what he said?
That he slept in.
Oh my gosh! And he's talking about, and there was literally, if you go back and watch it, porta potties on premise because there's so many people at this home all the time that there wasn't enough room for them to use the facilities, man.
Yeah.
And it's the poorest home you've ever seen, and that's where he came from, and now he's a millionaire, and as a millionaire.
I like that. Millions.
Right. He's got millions of dollars.
Millions.
But still, like, back in his neighborhood or his hood or whatever, he still goes to the same barbershop. And then they put 5 solid minutes into this man early. And then cut to the juxtaposition of him in the nicest hotel at training camp by himself, living the life of luxury.
Yeah. I love the transition in between like his humble beginnings and then at a luxury hotel because now he's the superstar.
Yeah.
And like he has his own suite to himself now. And like they were telling him about his reward points and he didn't know about reward points.
He doesn't understand reward points.
It was the cutest moment ever. I was like, oh my God, he's learning. We're watching him learn about how to be like a superstar.
Well, and that's the thing though, because and you don't think about it, I guess, as a fan or a casual viewer. Specifically here in Albuquerque, where we're so fortunate to have the UNM logos, and we watch these kids grow up.
Right.
He's a young man who does not quite have it figured out. I bet he has a handler. I bet Tampa Bay has a handler on.
100% has one.
And you're watching him learn life, and at the same time, he is the face of
a franchise.
Your billion-dollar franchise.
See?
Leading it.
Yeah.
Jobs, like lifestyles, depend on this dude. Not so distant.
We're just talking about it.
We're just talking about Ryan Tannehill. And
he's probably more so.
Yeah. And then we think about the pressures on the field and learning the playbook and doing these things. Jameis Winston has pressures in his life. Did you see? Jameis Winston's the only one making millions of dollars. That was from this little neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to use that money to support these dudes who supported him on his journey to get here. And regardless of how you feel about that, I assure you that's how he feels about it.
Yeah, for sure. A scene I loved, and like, I'm sure, just like, we saw the 30 for 30 broke.
Yeah.
Where all the athletes, they got their entourage, they got to pay for everybody. And like him and his family seem more grounded, more humble. Like they were happy that they got a new barbecue grill on the porch as opposed to buying a whole new house for grandma. I think those humble beginnings are going to serve him well in his career. I hope so. Well, transitioning to Gerald McCoy.
Yeah.
Stone cold killer on the field.
Yes.
Quarterbacks have nightmares about Gerald McCoy.
Went to Alabama, right?
Big dude.
Yeah.
Big dude. Absolute killer on the field. And he's like the sweetest, nicest dad.
Funny
guy. Showed up to to training camp in a silk kimono.
Yes.
Brilliant. I love it.
Strong.
Yeah.
And like we said, there's the personality there because he's the face of the defense at minimum. And he makes more money than anyone else. He plays just as hard in his features as anyone else, and he's got that relaxed, laid-back attitude. And then we make the jump over to because Hard Knocks, if you have not watched it, it features a lot of guys who are fringe players.
Yeah.
They might make the team, they might not make the team.
Good stories.
You live and you die by it. And a guy named Riley Bulow is a rookie linebacker out of Michigan State who could really play at Michigan State.
Verbose.
Yeah, and he's at best third on the depth chart at 3 different positions. Doesn't have a hint of sniff in the field, and there's no one that's got more fire in them than this dude.
He brings it, and he sets an amazing example for the rest of the squad.
It's a smart show. It's a fun show. It's got HBO money. Check it out if you do not check it out, and talk to people about it. But what I want to talk about that I saw on Hard Knocks was...
Please tell me it's a rookie hazing. We talking rookie hazing?
It's so good.
Oh my God, it's brilliant.
It's so smart.
So friggin' good.
These guys... Rookies have to be hazed. They have to carry pads. They have to do these little things. But what they did in Tampa Bay, at least on Hard Knocks, is they had these guys do karaoke.
Yeah, talent show. They had their rookie talent show.
Acapella though, no accompaniment.
No accompaniment at all.
So they had them step up in front of the entire team, which at this point is like 90 guys.
Yeah.
There's 90 guys on an NFL preseason roster, and they put the hits out there.
Yeah, they killed it. Well, I should say a few guys killed it.
Yes.
I mean, if you're used to being on a stage like that, you know, you're like millions of people watching you on TV, tens of thousands of people are watching you in a stadium. I think the worst moment for them is being on stage, being forced to sing. In that moment, you heard the in their voice. They were scared. They were nervous. You got a sea of giants.
Yes.
Stone cold killers just watching you sing.
Well,
it's probably the most emasculating moment of their lives, right?
If you're a rookie backup linebacker from Central Michigan, who is probably, if we're honest, lived like a pretty suburban / possibly rural lifestyle, and maybe doesn't have the same connection to a lot of the guys.
They called him Joe Dirt, so I'm guessing rural.
Yeah, they called him Joe Dirt. We're still talking about Riley Bulow here. But you have to play. He's your episode 1 MVP.
Oh,
he absolutely is. Yeah. And when playing and when performing, you play to your audience. You go with what they expect and what they want, and what they expect and what they want. It's familiarity. So you have to go up there and you have to hit it. You have to hit it out the park, and you have to drop like a culturally relevant song. You can't go there and do like your favorite some
kicking weird fringe hipster stuff that I like. No one's gonna know the reference. Yeah.
It's the Gong Show at that point.
For sure. But I'm off the stage immediately if I'm there.
So what do you do if you're in front of? I'm going to ask you right now, Van. If you're in front of 89 of your NFL teammates and you have to impress them with a song, what song are you bringing?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot here.
And I'll lead then.
Okay.
I think it's No Diggity by Blackstreet.
Man, that's a good one.
Because it's basically the national anthem of our youth.
Yeah.
There's not a greater hit. When it comes on, your head bobs, and everyone knows no words and everyone knows all the words.
Sure.
So if you put it out there, I think it goes over.
Yeah. It's going to kill.
And you would go with.
I think on the spot. I think I might go with the just sheer ridiculousness of it. I might go R. Kelly Bump and Grind,
which is excellent. Yeah. That's a prime one.
Yeah. I think especially me doing it, like with this whole thing going on, and then the Bump and Grind kicks in.
Hard Knocks wrapped on a Game of Thrones conversation. Every player on the team watches Game of Thrones.
Brilliant. And we'll cover it again next week, but we got to do it better, and we got to do it legally, apparently.
Yeah. Who knew?
Who knew?
When we come back, exciting debut for the Albuquerque Isotopes on Monday night. As St. Louis native, keep that in mind, Ryan Howard stepped to the plate for our AAA affiliate. We'll tell you what happened, how it played out, and how much I enjoyed it from the stands here on The Claim.
Our interns here at ProView Sports Network get pretty competitive. Rivalries are real.
you two. Jeez.
Football's back right here on ProView Sports Network. All the best rivalries, all the best action, every game on ProView Sports Network, Comcast 26, and the game of the week on My 50 TV.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Tomas gonna take it, and he's gonna make his way into the end zone for a West Mesa touchdown. Elijah Demas. That's big time stuff, huh?
Yeah, he's going to be here. Welcome back to The Claim. Van, St. Louis native, Wildwood native, if you're from the area, which I guess I'm talking only to me. Ryan Howard made his debut for the Colorado Rockies with our AAA affiliate, Albuquerque Isotopes, on Sunday, where he went 1 for 6, and the Isotopes 22-1 thumping of whoever.
It was a slaughter. It was a slaughter.
The 37-year-old wants to get to the big leagues. He wants a chance to, in my opinion, pinch hit off the bench for a team that could be in the postseason. You excited about this? This is one of many big names that has come through Albuquerque throughout the years.
Dude, this is a good get. You know, this is going to put butts in the seats. You know, earlier this year they had All-Star Dominic Brown. Now they got Rookie of the Year and 05 Rookie of the Year, 06 MVP Ryan Howard.
It's crazy to think that it was 11 years ago that Ryan Howard won the MVP.
Isn't that crazy?
It is unreal to me. Ryan Howard.
How old are you now?
You
don't got to say it online.
Every day of my life is the oldest day of my life. Ryan Howard.
382 career home runs.
Right?
That's a bunch of home runs to bring to Albuquerque.
Right?
I love it.
He played on the same high school football team with Lawrence Maroney. Lawrence Maroney, stud running back for the New England Patriots. There's a history of this kind of thing happened. Jason Giambi signed with the Isotopes in 09.
Giambino.
Yeah, kind of had a little deal going on there. I went to the ballpark Monday night, watched the Isotopes play. Ryan Howard laces a single to right center, a 2-run. Or 2 RBIs on that one. He's a guy who can play. He's a guy who's played a long time. I like it. I like it for the fans. It's exciting. So if you get a chance, there's only about a week left of the Isotope season, but go out there and see it a little bit. Any final thoughts on Ryan Howard?
Great guy, great swing, good get for Albuquerque. I'm definitely going to go see him.
2011 NLDS against St. Louis Cardinals, blows out the knee on the final out of the DS.
Shame.
It was a shame. He hasn't been the same since.
No, he has not.
He has not done it since.
On pace for 500 or more career home runs. Injuries got in the way.
Hall of Fame?
On the cusp, but the answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer is
it's a shame.
We did it, man. We always do it. It was a good Wednesday. We're going to have an even better Thursday tomorrow. I'm Fred Slow. You were Van Nunley, and thank you for tuning in to The Claim.
Peace out, Burke.